one of the points I want to bring up is not only do I want to represent the people in the 12th district in Congress for all the reasons that I've explained, I want to help reform the Democratic Party that's brought us to this sorry state that it is in. And there are two. I can tell you 2 points of how I want to do that. One is I want to abolish superdelegates. I think the superdelegates are undemocratic with both a big D and a little d. That's how Hillary Clinton and her people stole the nomination from Bernie, and superdelegates have to go. When a Democratic voter walks into a primary in any state and casts a vote, that Democratic primary voter has the right to, to assume that his or her vote is going to count. They have a reasonable expectation that their vote's going to count. Well, the Democratic Party doesn't seem to think so. They can say, yeah, you can vote in the primary, but we reserve the right to go in the back room and fix it and award the nomination to someone else. Well, if that's true, why hold the primary? Why don't you just go in the back room and do what you're going to do anyway? So I want to abolish superdelegates. I want to abolish a rule that says that incumbents are automatically endorsed. I don't know how many people know this. Incumbents, why would that be? Shouldn't they have to run on their record? Somebody's been in the Senate 6 years, and they would say, okay, I want to run again. Democratic Party steps up and say, you're endorsed. Well, no, that's not how. They should have to defend their record that they've done for the last 6 years. Same with the congressman for the last 2 years. Defend what you've done. Run on what you've done and who you are, not on the fact that your butt's been warming the chair for 2 years.
um, that doesn't go over well with many of the Democrats, man. If they're not incumbents now, they're looking forward to becoming incumbent and being hard to move out of their seats. So,
well, that's too bad. If they can't hold on to their seats based on doing the right thing, they shouldn't be there.
I think that I think more people just need to know about your candidacy. I think more people need to know about your platform. So we talked about Medicare. We talked about incarceration. Let's talk about environment. I'm sure there's environmental issues in California that are concerns.
Another one of my favorites here. This is a kind of campaign issue that's got a couple of buckets in it. I call it science denial. There is this thing going around the country here called science denial, and it's got a couple of prongs to it. The biggest one, of course, is environment. Science deniers are also climate deniers, climate change deniers, and that's a serious problem. I am very much in favor of tackling climate change is real, and we've got to attack it. Trump says it's a hoax, and so that's very important. But also, I mean, there's science deniers who are they're against the theory of evolution. They don't want to teach evolution. They don't want to teach a lot of things. If you deny gravity and you step off the cliff, man, you're still going to fall down, whether you deny it or not. So everyone, just because you deny a fact doesn't change the fact that it's a fact. So there's this notion that's denying science just must make it so, and people have a right to their ignorance. I don't believe in that. So climate change and environment are two parts of this science denial.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely, Stephen. Like, I was denying I was losing my hair, but that didn't stop it. It didn't stop it. So Trump and all of you science deniers, like, Stephen's absolutely right. Yeah.
I mean, the anti-vaxxers are another one of those. Kids have a right to go to school and know that they're not going to get infected with diseases that are preventable. Now, I know there's some people that don't believe that, and they have their right to their beliefs, but the science doesn't support it. Facts are facts.
Yeah, I interviewed Dr. Jill Stein a number of times during the general election, and it just harkens back to that. And there are some questions about, I don't know, the number of vaccines, the severity of the cause, or what that may cause, but like, anyone who thinks, I know Dr. Jill Stein believes in vaccines. She was just kind of concerned with the testing process, and the people that make the vaccines are on the boards for who approves vaccines. So that became a little murky. But the idea that kids don't need vaccinations, that's just loony. Like, we got rid of polio, right? Like, we don't.
Yes. Here in the Bay Area, there's a county just north of San Francisco called Marin County. And in Marin County, that's kind of a place where the anti-vaccination movement is a little stronger than it is in most places. And, in Marin County, they've had outbreaks of measles there that they've never had for 30 or 40 years. And I think that kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, you can't have your babies suffer, the children suffer, because you think perception is reality when reality is reality. So just to recap, Ro Khanna has not endorsed you and has not reached out to you. Is that correct, Stephen?
As we speak now, that is correct. I hope to change that. Although I don't know how he's going to endorse me if he's already endorsed Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
those may be mutually exclusive. I just don't know.
Yeah. Hey, look, it's on the record. It is what it is. In the Justice Democrats, you haven't joined them yet. You're not sure. You haven't fully examined them yet. Is that correct?
I need to know a little more. I certainly will make a decision in the near future about that. Yes.
Got you. And anyone who didn't hear earlier, Stephen Jaffe is also a strong advocate for Medicare for all. Is that correct, Stephen?
There's no stronger advocate for Medicare for all than I am.
He also said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to make sure. And he also said, I think was a very strong point I want everyone to know. He said he believes that we should go beyond just minimum wage, raising the minimum wage to $12 to $15 an hour. He believes that the minimum wage should be dependent on what your cost of living is in a given area.
Yes, it should be indexed. That's the word, the buzzword. It should be indexed to the cost of living to where it's paid.
Wow. Look, he had me at that. He's Stephen Jaffe, ladies and gentlemen. He's endorsed by Tim Canova, Preston Pecos. He's now endorsed by Tim Black. I don't know how much weight that carries. But,
oh, man. Thank you very much.
Hey, no problem, sir. I love what you're about. I love the fact you're a fresh voice and you have ideas and you don't need to vet them through a panel. By the way, guys, Stephen Jaffe takes no super PAC money, but he'll take yours if you go to his website. What's your website, Stephen?
Jaffe, the number 4, and the word Congress.com. Jaffe for Congress with the number 4.
Jaffe for Congress. Stephen's going to be at the People's Summit in Chicago, as will I. I hope to meet him there. Stephen, is there anything you'd like to tell the folks before we sign off? Where to go to meet you or whatever?
Well, because we're just kind of a baby campaign, I'd like to think that I'm still pretty accessible. If you go to my website, there's an email there. Write me if anybody wants to meet me. I'll do my best to say hello personally, whether it's by telephone or in person if it's feasible. I'm going to try to keep myself as accessible as possible.